What it do, Dream Team? It's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video. Here we are with 11 things not to do in Australia. Must see before you go. I'm excited to jump into this. Before we do, subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. I'm human. I talk back. You guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or in the description section there's a Google form link. What we got?
Australia is many things. It's a continent that makes up the 6th largest country in the world and is home to some of the most dangerous creatures on the planet. And no, I'm not just talking about Australians. With a little over 8.5 million people visiting each year, tourism is a huge part of Australia's economy. That being said, there are a number of things to look out for when you're there, so let's get right into it. Number 1. Don't stray from the path. With over 66 different venomous species, which is the 3rd largest concentration in the world, by the way, it's important to know where you are at all times. Now, this is especially true if you plan on trekking or camping in the outback. With things like the common brown snake, box jellyfish, and crocodiles, there's no shortage of dangerous animals here. So it's important that you stay on the path when you're exploring. And that goes for warning signs as well. Because while it may seem funny to some people from different countries, here they're very real and should be taken seriously.
Yeah, see, I'm already scared. I'm don't stray, but I can do that. I'm good at following directions. I see a warning sign, I'ma definitely believe it. I can do that. So don't stray from the path. That's the number one thing. You don't know what is all kind of animals that will take you out. So keep on that path.
Countries here, they're very real and should be taken seriously.
That kangaroo's absolutely adorable. Oh my god. Is that even? Yeah, that's kangaroo, right?
Number 2. Don't underestimate the cost. Australia is known for having one of the highest living costs in the world, and traveling there is no different. Now, of course, this is all subjective depending on where you go and where you're from, but it still might surprise you to hear that a beer costs around $9 Australian dollars, and a meal at a mid-range restaurant costs around 40. Now, all in all, if you're really trying to save money, you can get it down to around 100 Australian dollars per day. And I'll just throw that number out there as an average. But between
if you're trying to save money, you can get it down to 100 a day. Yeah, Australia, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love the videos. I love the people in the videos, but I cannot spend $100 a day. I don't have that kind of money yet. When I do, if I ever do, I'll come. But right now, if that's saving, I can't do it.
100 Australian dollars per day. And I'll just throw that number out there.
How much is 100 Australian dollars? How much American dollars is that?
You can get it down to around 100 Australian dollars per day. And I'll just throw that number out there as an average. But between transportation, food, and lodging, the prices can get a bit expensive. So it's important that you price out your trip accordingly. Number 3, and this is a short one. Don't say shrimp on the Barbie. Now, this phrase was popularized by a 1980s ad with Paul Hogan, who was later in Crocodile Dundee, and it was sponsored by the Australian Tourism Commission to try to bring in international travelers. But this is absolutely not what an Australian would say. If they would even use that phrase at all, they would say prawn, not shrimp. So don't make it more annoying than it already is.
I got you.
Number 4. Drinking in Australia. Now for this one, I'm mainly talking about major cities, specifically Sydney, so don't quote me on the rest of the country. But in Sydney, you can't get a beer after 1:30 in the morning because they have something called a lockout law, which means no one is allowed in or out of bars past that point in time. And their last call is at 3 in the morning. And of course, don't drink and try and drive because they have one of the lowest blood alcohol content levels, 0.05, before you can be arrested. And And last but not least, don't order Foster's beer. That's not an Australian thing, that's an American thing. Instead, try and order a bottle of Bundaberg. My Aussie friends will know why I'm laughing. Number 5.
Yeah, I like that. Bars, you shouldn't be able to walk into a bar after 1:30 a.m. Like, that's no-go. Yeah, they need to be locked up. Lock the bars. I mean, and last call around 3, cool. That's late, but cool. Definitely shouldn't drive. Definitely, Australia, definitely a good thing.
Number 5. Don't underestimate its size. Australia is a country with about 25 million people, and because it's a continent, it's made up of almost 7.6 million square kilometers. And despite the fact that the majority of its population is clustered around the coasts, in urban areas, it still means that as a tourist, it's going to take a long time to get from place to place. So it's important to take a look at exactly how long it's going to take you to complete your itinerary. Number 6. Don't always tip. Now, unlike some countries, tipping isn't required in Australia, and that's mainly because their minimum wage is the highest in the world, at around $18.93 an hour. Now, in places like the US, waitstaff require tips to earn a living wage.
I see why your cost of living can be what it is. I see why it can be what it is. Ours is probably just as high, and our minimum wage is it still $7.25? I don't know a lot of jobs that are still paying that, but I think like it's not a federal thing where it's moved up. So you go from let's say $10. Let's just say $10 to $18 with almost the same cost of living. Australia, y'all paying the people's right. I'll say that.
3 cents an hour. Now, in places like the US, waitstaff require tips to earn a living wage because the national minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Now, if you have great service, for sure you should tip the person. All I'm saying is you won't be scorned like in the US if you don't. Number 7. Don't rely on public transport. Now, because Australia is so big and so spread out, public transport is difficult to find outside major cities. You know, it's not like Europe where you can take a train to a small town, hop off, and then hop onto another train to another small town. Australia is just too big for that to be feasible. So you're better off finding other ways to get around. Number 8. Don't talk about immigration. Now, forgive me if I have to generalize a bit in order to get the point across. But for the most part, many Australians dislike the way that the government handles immigration, whether they're anti-immigration or whether they're disgusted by the way the government handles refugees. Of course, there's all the people in between. But the bottom line is that immigration is a big deal in Australia, and it's easier to avoid the topic. Number 9. Don't take anything personally. Now, Australians always seem to be joking around, and insults are one of the ways that they do that. But don't make the mistake of thinking they mean anything by it. There's a funny saying where you know that an Australian doesn't like you if they don't insult you, because it means that they...
I say the exact same thing to all my friends, and to even my girlfriend. I say, the minute I knew I could start joking, start picking on you and these little insults, like that's when I knew I was comfortable with you. That's when I knew like it was okay, because you know me and you know that I'm joking, so you know that I don't mean anything by it. You know I'm not trying to offend. I'm just joking around. And so yeah, I like that one. I don't take anything personal. It's because I don't like wasting time being upset. There's no point. Like I love joking around. So yeah, if I joke around with you and I'm insulting you, there's a very good chance that I'm friends with you. If I'm not friends with you, I won't joke, I won't insult, not until you get to know me.
There's a funny saying where you know that an Australian doesn't like you if they don't insult you, because it means that they actually think there's something wrong with you and that it'll offend you. Go figure. So take everything with a grain of salt. Number 10. Don't be afraid to say hello. Australians have a pretty well-deserved reputation for being laid back. And like I was talking about before with the kidding around, they're good at taking things in stride, which makes it easy as a tourist to make friends. And talking to people is a must. Last but not least, number 11. Make sure you enjoy Australia. Australia is such a cool place with so many fun and interesting people. And there's so much to do there. It's important to keep in mind that these are all general guidelines and tips that I find out while I was there. And I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time while you're there.
No, I absolutely love this. Number 11 is probably the most important one. Make sure you enjoy it. Make sure you have a good time. That's what it's all about. That's all we got for this one. If you guys got a favorite video you want to see me react to, you can subscribe to Patreon or in the description section there's a Google form link. Hit the link, fill out your suggestions, send it to me. Want me to get to yours faster, fill out premium. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon, all up top. You'll subscribe to any of it. Follow all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal, out.